Hello everyone, Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching. I have another Monday quarterback video for you. I'm going to play the entirety of the video, and then I'll go back and talk about things that are going on and things that I think that are done right and are done wrong. This video itself comes from the YouTube channel M Live. I was unable to find the actual agency social media page that would have this corresponding video. So I had to use the YouTube channel M Live that reported on this. Without further ado, here we go.
Back towards 3712, you got the call. All units on South Holnier at this time. I'm waiting for any additional units. He's walking back out towards Stoffer. 8023 blocking off Stoffer. Stop right there! Stop right there! Stop right there! Shots fired, shots fired. Stay down! Stay there! Stay there! Shots fired, shots fired. Stay there! 38, keep it here. Stay down! Still on there. Shots fired. Shots fired. Copy, shots fired.
Man, it's just a pump, dumbass! I'm a diabetic!
What is it?
Lay down on the ground!
Diabetic, motherfucker!
That's okay. Just stay underneath. Get underneath.
Get on your knees!
Get underneath.
No, I'm not getting on my dumb knees. Somebody go West Police.
Get underneath.
You know what? You want me to take me? I don't care.
Get on the ground!
No!
Get on the ground!
I'm already leaking.
Get on the ground!
I'm already leaking.
Get on the
Go
ground!
ahead and take me. You take me. Go ahead. I don't care. I'm not going on the ground.
All right, buddy.
Not going on the ground.
Damn it, you.
1914. 50, Kalamazoo Station.
No, get your arm off me. Get your arm off me. Get your arm off me. If I fall, get your arm off me. Let me go. Let me go. Let me go. I don't care right now. Let me go. Tell this motherfucker let me go. I'm going towards my mom. Tell him let me no. Tell him let me go. Tell him let me go.
Okay.
Tell this motherfucker let me go.
That's fine.
I'm about to hurt him. Tell him let me go. Don't take no, don't
down,
touch
man.
me. No. I'm already hurting.
Sir.
I'm already fucking hurting.
Sir, I know.
This nigga needs to let me go. Let me go.
All right.
Can we sit down, man?
No.
We need to sit down.
Would you let your arm go? Let my arm go.
All right, sit
Let my
down,
arm.
man.
No, get away from me.
All right.
Why were you?
Because I'm not
Why'd
happy
you
with
have the gun?
I'm not happy with you.
Why'd
Get
you
away
have the
from me.
gun?
Get away from me.
Come on. Let's go over here.
You got 2 seconds. Get away from me.
Let's go over here, man.
Get away from me. Get the fuck away from me right now.
Okay. How about this officer? You come with me.
I'll
Okay?
go with you, but you better let him
It's fine.
let me
I'll just come on
go.
over here.
Let me go.
Come on over here, okay? Sir.
I'm already fucking hurting.
Sir, I know.
This nigga needs to let me go. Let me go. Let me
Can we
go.
sit down, man?
No.
We need to sit down, man.
Let your arm go. Let my arm go.
All right, sit down, man.
No. Get away from me.
Why were you? Why'd you have the gun?
You need to sit down.
Why'd you have the gun?
Hey,
Get away from me.
come on. Let's go over here.
You got 2 seconds. Get away from me.
Let's go over here, man.
Get away from me. Get the fuck away from me right now.
Okay, how about this officer? You come with me.
I'll
okay?
go with you,
Okay,
but you better let him
That's fine.
let me
Let's come on
go.
over here.
Let me go.
Come on over here, okay? Let's go over here, my man, all right? We're just gonna come over. We're just gonna sit down over here.
I'm
We're
not
just
sitting down. I can't sit down.
Is it gonna hurt to sit down?
Yes.
Okay, I don't want you to sit down. I want you to be comfortable, okay? Where are you hurting? Probably right on your hip there?
Yes.
Okay. Anywhere else?
No.
You hit
I'm
anywhere
leaking,
else?
And I feel my numbers going down. I'm about to pass
Well,
out.
I'd rather you sit down than for
I
me.
can't sit down.
Does it hurt too much? Is that why? Just tell me why, okay? I'm here to help you. Does it hurt too much? Answer for me. Answer for me.
30, go ahead.
Can you sit down for me, sir?
Just verifying the one patient.
What I just say?
Can you please?
What did I fucking just
I know,
say?
it's just, sir, but I don't want you to pass out.
Nah,
I don't
I'm
want you to
gonna sit
pass
down
out.
if I'm hurting.
I don't want you to pass out on me, all right?
Well, just lay down.
How can I if I have fucking handcuffs on?
I'll help you. Just sit down.
I can't.
Sit down. We'll help you. Come on. Come on, baby.
No, I
Will you do it for your mouth?
can't.
Will you do it for your mouth, please?
It's
He's
the handcuffs
autistic.
off.
I can't
He
take
can't.
handcuffs off.
He's autistic
I can let you
right
sit
now.
on the rock over
I
here.
can't.
Just Tyler, just
I can't.
We don't want you to
Sit on
pass
the
out,
rock.
Get me in
man.
my fucking
I
head.
don't want you to sit. I don't want you to pass out, man. Will you please sit
Just
down
look
for
at
me?
it.
Look at what? I will if you sit down. I'll
sit
take a look.
down. You're shaking. Sit
Yes.
down. He's type 1
I
diabetic.
can't.
I know,
I'm
ma'am.
trying to tell y'all I can't.
We're trying to help you get medical started.
Sit down. Sit down, baby.
Yep, I got it.
Sit down.
It's right there.
I can't sit down though. My hips all locked up.
Copy.
He feels contained. Yes.
Are you gonna be okay standing?
I
No.
can't.
Well, sit down.
Let's
I
sit down. Let's
can't.
sit down.
Lean on the hood of the
I
car.
can't.
Let's sit down, all
I
right,
can't even
partner?
walk anymore.
Here.
Let's sit down,
Over
partner.
here.
Let's just sit down then.
Now you got your grandma's
Here.
hand.
Let's lay down now,
I
okay?
can't.
Just do it on your
Guys,
knees.
I
Will you do it on your knees,
can't.
sir?
I can't. Everything's
Okay.
locked up right now.
Okay, all right. If you're comfortable like this, we'll hold you like this, okay? Is that all right? Is that all right?
No.
Let's just find out where medical's at.
Can we
Give me
please
ETA.
get these handcuffs
Priority.
off?
They can't do this.
3616.
Do we have ETA on medical?
I can't lose them right now, partner.
Have Al,
Just-
have Al,
just
get
look at
going.
medical. There you go. There you go. There you go.
We're good.
There you go. There you go.
Supervisor requesting emergency.
Tyler,
You're good, man. Hey, stay
how
alert.
you feeling?
I can't.
I know. Can you just stay? Can you just stay up and just talk with us?
All right.
Don't, honey.
I can't. Leave me alone.
Just monitor him.
Kentwood unit's life is 6 minutes out
All right.
50
You
seconds.
two monitor him and yourself.
6 minutes.
Pat him down. Make sure there's any other weapons on
Okay.
him, okay?
He does.
Make sure he's good. Well, we need to make sure, okay,
Yep.
ma'am? Are you okay there, ma'am?
Hello.
I can't.
All right.
Down.
You got him? All
I'm
right.
trying to take a video.
All right, so go ahead and pause that. Go back, and of course, a stupid advertisement wants to come in here. That's just great. We're gonna skip an ad. All right, if this thing will cooperate. And naturally, there wants to be some technical issues. Okay, so the police are responding to this incident, and the incident is a call has come in where a shot has been fired, and the guy's walking around with a gun. There was a plainclothes officer who watched the man and relayed information to dispatchers until the uniformed officers arrived on scene. Don't know the background to this guy's story, why he's doing what he's doing, but a shot has been fired in the air. He's walking around with his gun, and police make contact with him. When they first make contact with him, drop this volume.
Stop right there!
He brings the gun up as if he is going to assume a firing position and shoot.
Stop right there! Stop right there!
That is when the police decide to fire. No problem with that whatsoever. So, yeah, it's perfectly legal to walk around with a gun. That is your Second Amendment right. The totality of the circumstances involved, and you know what? Even if this was a happenstance kind of thing, a coincidence, he's just walking around with the rifle or whatever, and then someone else has fired some kind of shot, or is there was someone lighting fireworks, or there was a car backfiring, and someone called 911 and said, "Oh, I think this guy just was shooting his gun." If that was the circumstance, which I don't believe it is, this guy was still, of course, within his legal right to walk around with a gun. Assuming, of course, he does have the ability to legally possess a firearm. The minute that he started to disobey those verbal commands and then take a, a, a stance where he's about to fire on the officers, that changes things drastically. The minute you conduct yourself like that and act like you're going to take a firing position, that's it. That's a green light right there for you to have force used against you. The officers did everything right in this regards to using force against him. It's after this where I think they screwed up a lot. So they used deadly physical force when met with deadly physical force. Okay with that. They did great. The only downside up to this point that I would have to say is it appears as though these two officers who are making the approach only had pistols out. And as you know, I do rant a lot, so to speak, when it comes to officers responding to things and they only having pistols. The only person we see that ends up having a rifle is this sergeant who shows up on scene. But it's hard to tell from the different angles and the splitting of the time lapse of the video. Who exactly showed up when and where. We do see this person in the background. Not exactly sure who he is, but this point right in here, I think they're good on using their force. Now, at this point is where I start to get really annoyed. So he makes that approach, gives him several verbal commands to get down on the ground. The guy completely refuses to do anything what he's telling him to do, and he goes to a less lethal and
Get on the ground.
points it at
Get on the
him,
ground.
thinking that he's going to get red dot compliance, and it obviously does not happen. And at this point, he should have just went ahead and deployed the taser on this guy. This guy was non-compliant. He's still approaching. He has not been cleared. He could have another weapon on him. And he's walking with his hands behind his back. From this officer's perspective, could not see him. He should have immediately deployed taser on this guy when he got within range. And this guy, of course, was not following any instructions. So that's strike one right there, in my opinion. He didn't use appropriate amount of force.
Go ahead. I don't care. All right, buddy. Not going on the ground. Didn't you?
And then the officer says, "All right, buddy, I ain't playing with you." Yeah, if he was, this dude was really of that mindset, he would have shot him with a taser to begin with. And I don't know why people will utter those little things when they have the ability to do something, they don't do it, but then they say, "Oh, I ain't playing games with you." Yeah, whatever. Apparently, you're wanting to play games because you didn't drop this son of a bitch with the taser.
No, get your arm off me. Get your arm off.
Now, at this point, it becomes a power struggle. This dude is wanting him to get his hands off of him, and that goes on for far too long.
If I fall, get your arm off me. Can y'all let me go?
Telling him to sit
Let me go.
and let me go, blah, blah, blah. So that is what I would call typical behavior within a correctional system. For many people who do not know and realize, jails and prisons, they're not like what they are in the movies. They're not, this hard ass place. In some places, it's literally just a daycare in a way. And you'll have people who work in those environments who who should not be working in those environments whatsoever. And when it comes time to use force and put people in their place, that just simply either never happens in those environments the way it should, and if it does happen, it happens very seldom, and people just aren't put in their place the way they should be. And so when you have people who get arrested by the police and they go in the jails and they spend decent amount of times in jails and prisons or whatever, I think that in most cases these people come conditioned to act a certain way when they're in those correctional facilities, because they know if they act enough of an asshole and they get loud enough and they got some kind of size to them, the people there in charge, they don't want trouble, and they will coddle and pander and basically give them what they want just so they'll shut up. And this sergeant that we see that comes
I
up
don't care right now. Let me go.
and
Tell this motherfucker let me go.
starts
I'm going
dealing
to
with him.
Tell him let me no. Tell him let me go.
Alright,
Tell him let me go.
adjust it.
Okay,
Tell this motherfucker let me go.
that's fine.
I'm about to hurt him. Tell him let me go.
we
Don't
take
touch
you-
me. No,
we take
don't
you
touch
down,
me.
sir. What-
No. I'm already hurting.
Sir,
I'm already fucking hurting.
sir, I know.
This nigga need to let me go. Let me go.
Alright, so at this point, there should have been no, so, sir, what's wrong? No, this guy was given instruction to get on the ground. At that point, if he was not going to get on the ground himself, he should have been made to get on the ground. They should have assisted him down to the ground and go from there. This pandering bullshit that this so-called sergeant is entertaining is ineffective. This guy does not need to be a sergeant, in my opinion. He needs to have his stripes taken away, because this coddling ends up getting people hurt and killed later on. And that's the kind of shit that you will see in jails and prisons. People coddling the inmates and giving them what they want. That does nothing but set shit up for failure. It makes it harder for the people who actually do their fucking job.
No.
We need to sit down.
Would
man.
you let your arm go? Let my arm go.
All right,
Let
go
my
ahead,
arm.
man.
No, get away from me.
All right. Why were you?
Because I'm not
Why'd
happy
you
with
have
you.
the gun?
I'm not happy with you.
Why'd
Get
you
away
have the
from
gun?
me. Get away from me.
Give a fuck less if you're happy or unhappy. Again, this is going on for way too long. This guy, they should have just dumped him on the ground where he's at.
Come on, let's go over here.
You got 2 seconds. Get away from me.
Let's go over here, man.
Get away from me.
You got 2 seconds. All right. Now, what just happened here? Oh, the officer let go of him. Now this guy, he's empowered at this point. He has some control over the situation when he should have absolutely zero control whatsoever. The only thing he needs to be controlling is whether or not he follows instructions. Get down on the ground. Okay, he gets on the ground. If he controls himself not to do that, then these officers should physically control him and take him down to the ground.
Get the fuck away from me right now.
Okay, how about this officer? You come with me.
I'll
Okay?
come with you, but you better let him
It's fine.
let me
I'll just
go.
come over.
Then he says, I'll come with you. And this guy entertains that shit. He doesn't correct him on the spot. He's just furthering this coddling and pandering bullshit.
Here. You got it?
Let me go.
Come on over here, okay? Sir,
I'm already fucking hurting.
sir, I know.
This nigga need to let me go. Let me go. Let me
Can
go.
you sit down, man?
No.
We need to sit down, man.
Let your arm go. Let my arm go.
Did you go ahead?
Can you sit down for me, sir?
Just verifying the one patient.
What I just say?
Can you please?
What did I fucking just
I know,
say?
it's just sir. I don't want you to pass
No.
out.
I'm
One patient.
I want you to
gonna
pass
sit
out.
down if I'm hurting.
And of course, it wants to pause out on me here.
I want you to pass out on me, all right?
So they go into this negotiation, for lack of a better word, on trying to get him to go down to the ground. And he's not having any of it. He's not wanting to follow any of their instructions. And they're not getting anything done. The mother, for whatever reason, is being allowed to be super close to the scene. That in of itself, they should have, in my opinion, secured that scene and kept her further back. There's no need for her to be that close, and for her to become a threat and start fighting the officers. So scene control wasn't all that great. She should have been kept far back. And this guy himself, although they did use the right amount of force at the very beginning and shot him with a gun when he should have been shot with a gun, they failed to perform their duties the way they should have when he blatantly refused to follow any of their instructions and then became aggressive and hostile towards them and acted disorderly and menacingly.
Come on, baby.
No.
We do it for now, please.
It's the handcuffs off.
Not much else to say about this video. These are the kind of videos that really, really, really get on my nerves. De-escalation can work, but there comes a point where when you try to use too much de-escalation, it turns it into a situation where the person you're trying to de-escalate ends up escalating because you're not properly de-escalating. Yes, some people can be de-escalated with just words. Some people cannot be de-escalated with just words. They have to be de-escalated with physical force. So there are people who, when you try to talk, and nothing happens, and they are allowed to remain in control of that situation, they become empowered, they become emboldened. They then escalate that situation by doing more. Sometimes the proper way to de-escalate a person is to take them down on the ground, shoot them with a taser, spray them in the face with pepper spray, do a hard takedown, punch them in the face. That's the reality of the matter. And there is a lot of people who think that de-escalate means just talking, and it does not mean just talking to people. It can also mean using violence against people, because some people, like I said, words don't work on them. You have to put them in their place physically. You have to sometimes meet violent people with violence. That's the only fucking language they understand. If you like what you hear and see, give me a like and a share. If you have not already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching.